Broadcast live.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, my brother?
Una rhymes. I always ask myself, what is the una rhymes? Una.
A lot of people say uno, and I know I'm the one, but it's una, you know. But it's short for my actual name, Unarine. Yeah.
Yo, we here. Up
Yes,
and
sir.
G. What's up, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
We finally doing this
Finally.
properly.
Yo, it's been a wild ride, huh?
Yo, man, we've had some experiences. And you know, when you came in, we talked about the first interview that we had that never came out.
Yeah.
I want to kind of go back to that. You know, it felt like, you know, what happened to you when your career started, because, or at least when we started seeing it, you know, I think the definition of when career started is a bit broad.
Yeah.
But when we started like paying attention, there could have been, I think there was the league with you could have been one of the first guys that like the Black Coffee Swiss Beats kind of interaction happened. And I think Burna Boy also was around that group of people around that time. And everybody just started speaking about you, you know, at the time. And I was put under pressure to even also interview you, you know. And I never knew much about you, you know. At that time, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, did it feel like yeah, you want to sing, but you weren't ready for all this shit?
Quite interesting, because I think love for music's always been there. But at that point, it was a bit too much attention for a shy guy like me.
Yeah.
And it got a bit overwhelming. I think moving from just being a regular guy to going to the mall, having people stop you to ask for pictures was just, yeah, out of my comfort zone at least.
Yeah.
So I've grown to get a bit more comfortable in that setting or situation. But it wasn't really that like, you know, triggered the break that I took.
Yeah.
A lot happened, like a lot of my personal life. There was a mugging, you know, it was very traumatic, and required me to just take some time to heal. And in that time I was creating like a whole lot, and there's a lot of music to show for it.
Yeah.
Like even this mixtape I just dropped now is a detour really from the album I've been working on, yeah.
I mean, I have to say that like there's this, at least my generation, we grew up as in like, you know, when you superstar, even that was a perception, and you know, it could be wrong, could be right. You know, you just always need to be like very forward. You need to always be. For me, when I met you the first time, I think the difficulty I had with talking to you, like the first guy I spoke to who was like almost like uncomfortable about being in a space where you're actually being interrogated about your content. You know what I mean? So I guess for me, as much as it was awkward for you, it was awkward for me.
I feel that, but at the same time, I kind of feel like, I don't know. Like before, I was super excited to get on the interview, right?
Yeah.
I watched a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this time, like me and Slicker sitting down, it's gonna be crazy. And I get there and I can hear that this man does not know how to ask any questions, like, and I know you're a good interviewer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it just got awkward.
I wasn't ready for you also, to be quite frank, you know.
The world hasn't been ready for it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also like judging people on or literally getting into people through music, you know. I think the mistake that a lot of people made, even with my previous interviews, they thought that I could have had relationships with the guys I was interviewing. But a lot of the interviews, my interview content was based on the music they made, the things that they said. And that literally built my curiosity, you know, and that builds my kind of content and my questions. So with you, it was one of those things where there was that the only thing that like we're really hanging on, that everybody was hanging on, was that Black Coffee, Swiss Beats, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was really hanging on that, you know? But I can imagine though also just with you needing to build your content in your name, just that pressure though, you know, just of everyone wants to get a piece of you, but you don't really have all the content out there, you know what I mean? Did you experience any of that?
Nah. Put me in the studio any day, I'll make a song, a beautiful one at that. But it was never really a content thing, man.
Yeah.
So no, I did not experience that.
But one thing for sure that I picked up from you, you are like a curator.
Yes. I'm glad someone picked it up, because damn. Yeah.
You're a curator of sound, you're a curator of voices, you're a curator of layers of what sound. That's really what you do. You're like a producer, you know? Producer, yeah? How does that, how do you like, because I was listening to the Langa Mavusa joint also, and I was going, yo, Langa's got an amazing voice, and you feature a lot of other people. And I was like, how do you remove yourself from the competitive aspect of it? Do you know what I mean?
I feel you. I think it's just wanting the best product out, really.
Yeah.
Because even how that song came about, like, I'm on my bed on a lunch break, because we were working from home, right?
Yeah.
And I had this beat from Rillo that Christa had plugged me with. And I was just like, you know what, let me write a song.
Yeah.
So I wrote the whole song, hooks and all verses. And I had a demo, but I did not like how my voice was sounding on it. Sounds good. I have like the alternate version, sounds good. But I knew it could go a step further than that, and it could sound a lot more beautiful. And it was between Langa and Loiso.
Yeah.
But Langa's been my brother, and he was like super easy
to
access. And he absolutely killed it. When I reached out to him, he was like, bro, no problem. Let's do it.
I mean, looking at those interactions, I also saw like I saw Shakina's timeline one time, and she was just giving you so much props, you know, when she dropped the project, you know, and it just made me wonder. You really, you know, people will really miss it, but like I think that like you really kind of come in the studio and you add some type of value for a lot of artists. I mean, how much were you involved in her project, and what besides the song that you're involved in?
Not so much. I'd love to take credit, but her and Goofy did a beautiful thing. With Trouble in Paradise. Super happy and grateful to have been a part of it. But I guess with the song we worked on in particular, she had to call me back. And this is like 2 years after like we have the original demo.
Yeah.
She's like, let's finish this song. And I'm like, it wasn't finished. But yeah, we get there and just play around and have more ideas that eventually turn into the final version of the song. But yeah, like she's a sister of mine, super talented, love her to bits and pieces.
You know, I've been, just as a side note, I've been struggling just to get you, right? I asked myself, I said, yo, what else do you do besides music? You know, it's like you got a big hustle on the side.
Man, I'm like the Elon Musk of music. But on a more serious note, I'm a software engineer.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and this week has been super crazy because we have like 3 clients we're onboarding and 1 client that's just on like sustaining, so it's just maintenance. But the 2 other guys that are on the same project, I'm like lead developer on the project, but the 2 other guys that work on the project are on leave, so everything falls on me. And I had like a couple deployments yesterday. I worked like a 12-hour shift. And straight after that, I had to like shower, go off and perform. And that was the highlight of my day, you know? Like, it's been a tough and difficult one, I won't lie, but I think at the end of it all, I'm just proud that I'm able to rise up to the challenge and complete all the tasks I need to. And it feels like it's teaching me so many lessons in life and just about how to balance things and, you know, go for what's not particularly easy, but will be worthwhile and fulfilling.
Yeah.
And it'll pay off when eventually I'm able to be full-time artist.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I guess that's everyone's kind of dream, just to get into this thing and do it full time.
Yeah.
But yo, tell me about like this whole software engineering thing. I never thought. I really never thought. You know what I mean? I was like, cause you know, we've been trying to get you like, yo, he's got a meeting here. I'm like, yo, I literally asked the team. I said, yo, I don't understand. What else does this man do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did you even choose becoming a software engineer sorry, this before I even get to that, I really want to know where was home and for you before you came to Joburg, where's home?
I am in the Venda, Maguarera. You know, you gotta hit the subtitles for. But yeah, back in Venda, I grew up in a family with my 2 loving parents that I love so dearly, and 5 other siblings. Yeah, it wasn't always easy, but I think I was kept safe from all the difficulties because I didn't realize until much later in life. And they were always super supportive. You know, I was that kid that was told, you can be what you want to be.
Yeah.
If they weren't telling me that, I was hearing it on TV.
Yeah.
And that's where the accent comes from watching a lot of cartoons.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's where home was. We grew up primarily in the church. My parents went on to become pastors and start their own ministry.
Okay.
So super involved in the worship team and the choir before we had the church. So music was always a part of that, like a whole lot of Israel Houghton, Kirk Franklin, so the chords and the melodies. That's where I fell in love with those.
Yeah.
Learned to play some instruments and that fed into production. Yeah.
That's incredible. You never know till you know.
You never know till you know.
You never know till you know. And then obviously like with that so you grew up in Venda, or were you studying in Joburg, or what was the process?
Born and raised. And then until first year, came to study at Tux.
Yeah.
The computer science, and graduated record time. I'll let you know I was top 30 matric. So it's not just a pretty face.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So
That's
I think
incredible.
when I started actually getting a lot more into, it was dancing that I was into with my friends. My parents were just like, and then school, are you gonna manage? I was like, let me prove it to you.
Yeah.
And when I showed them that I could keep the grades up and do what I love, they were just like, we'll support this.
So that's a remix, right? You got spirituality, right? From the family you come from. You got the musicality side, you know, and also then balancing it with the career, you know, which is, you know, it's a solid career. It's not being a software engineer is not, although it's soft, it's not a soft thing. It's not super soft, you know, to get into that space. You know what I mean? It needs a lot of time and a lot of dedication, you know? Damn, bro. Okay, no wonder when I meet you all the time, you look like you've had a long ass day.
I try to make it look easy. What does Travis say? When you hustle, gotta make it sexy or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're hustling.
One thing also that does come out, and maybe this also will answer what you've just said, might answer it. I don't know if people have interacted with you. Obviously, I don't know if people are watching have interacted with you, but generally you come across like a loving person, you know, and you try to protect yourself from people who can't reciprocate that, you know. And I think that like it's difficult for you to hold back the love that you generally would have.
Are you a prophet or something? This man. Carry on, sorry.
No, I know it's a sense I get about you. You know what I mean? It's whenever, even if I'm engaging with you for a few seconds, or I just watch how you engage with other people, I feel that like that's who you are. You want to protect your energy in a way, you know. And I was wondering, and I'm wondering, is that could that be probably from even the upbringing that you come from, where you know, if there's a ministry, love is probably what's being taught first.
Yeah, spot on.
Well, firstly, am I right about it? You know what I mean?
You are. You really are. It's actually kind of scary how right you are. I was raised around a whole lot of love, and I think it flows even into the music. I'm trying to spread love, you know, and that's my primary message. And that's for my energy and my space. Like, that's all I have outside of anything else. And a mind filled with pieces. Yeah. All I require. So I will bring close to the people that amplify that. And I'm allowed to block off and mute whatever does not, you know, flow in that direction. So yeah.
I mean, that is, I'm just saying, you know, people don't, I know people like, yeah, you know, everybody's emo, this new generation. And they, you know, they base it on a stereotype, but they don't base it on a type of human being who basically who basically genuinely feels that. You know, you're just not being emo because you saw Drake being emo or whatever the case be. You know what I mean? It's or Kanye, like heartbreaks and whatever. The point is that like it's really an upbringing, and kindness becomes such an important thing. And I think your world is driven around kindness. Yeah.
You're right, bro. Like, and I think, to be honest, everyone's emotional. You know, we just have...
But people don't... but people...
don't show that side of themselves.
Exactly. And what I'm trying to say is that you are aware of it, and you try to protect it so people don't see it, for those that can't reciprocate or even comprehend.
I think I'm also aware of my duality. Like, I'll be an a-hole if I have to be an a-hole.
Yeah.
So don't cross me, but
yeah.
You know, if you show love, we're gonna love. And I think, just especially in this day and age and in the society we live in, there's just a lot that's not pleasing, a lot that's, you know, heartbreaking already. And just with a little bit more compassion, understanding, and kindness, we'd be so much better off as the human race.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hold Me When It's Cold, you know, I was asking myself, I said, yo, this must have been recorded in the winter. Because, you know, the season done changed. You know, when did you start working on the project?
I think it's around end of March, beginning April. I just started working with Savannah, my manager, and playing her Crush. That's the album. And yeah, we go through it. She loves it. She's like, man, I'm excited. When are you trying to drop this? And I'm like, yeah, June. I just had my heart set on June for some reason. She's like, this does not sound like a winter project. It sounds very much summer, spring.
Oh, I'm glad that she said that then, because, but carry on.
Yeah. So I'm there and I'm bummed, bro. Like, I remember looking down going, yeah, nah. For like a minute or two. Then I look up and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make a mixtape for the winter.
Yeah.
And I'll call it Hold Me When It's Cold, right then and there.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's a dope idea. Go do what you have to do, I guess. And for the next 3 weeks, it was very hectic, just back and forth in the studio trying to write the song. And the next 3 months, it was getting the business aspect of that right. Getting the images done, getting the features, and everything to tie up the album and get the finished product. But yeah, that was a detour.
In the world of creativity, which you highly are, there's also like a disorganization, right? Creatives are disorganized. I don't know, maybe it's a natural thing. It's just that I'm still like perturbed by the fact that you're a software engineer. It's so process driven, right?
It is.
How do you balance all those things?
think I see everything as a platform. And it allows you to kind of use your creativity everywhere.
Yeah.
So in the software space, I'll be creative and I see the problems I face there as puzzles. And when I step into studio, there's a song that must happen. I have a melody or something, or the producer has a beat, but it's like a puzzle to piece words together and put things together. And I guess they'll say left brain, right brain, but they sort of feed into each other. And I'm able to, in the same way we have like sprints on the software side, and you're able to track a project and, you know, deliver and report back or whatever, I kind of adapt that into the music and add a little bit more structure, although it is very chaotic. Like, there's beauty behind the madness, though. And I watched this episode on Netflix. I forgot the name of the show, but it's by Christoph Niemann, and he speaks on design. And he just went on about how you're allowed to at first just be the creator and just sporadically make magic. But after that, you can take off that hat, put on another one, be a curator, and masterfully, skillfully put things together where they belong. And I've kind of taken that approach where I don't have a lot of pressure going to studio. We can make whatever we want to make. Because I'm going to be feeling lots of different ways. I'll have lots of different types of days, some better than others. So if one day I go in and I'm making a slow, sad song, let me make that. But when it's time to curate the project, it'll make sense.
It'll make sense, yeah. It's almost like this compilation of moods and feelings. You know, I always say that, like, musicians literally, like, if time was marked by dates and times, musicians literally like mark emotions by songs, you know? So, and that's why it's so important for you to look back to your catalog and go, that's what I was feeling there. And for someone else, and the reciprocation of someone else listening to it, they like, I remember going through this and this is what it made me feel. Do you know what I mean? That's the magic of music. When you're so honest that you can go, that's what I was feeling. I got songs that we could have probably did that that make me, I'll use a stupid example, like there's a Squatter Camp song called Story to Tell, you know, and I'm like, I'm from the east of the Rand, homeboy, with George Bush and Hussein doing Stain, homeboy. They want to start World War III, homeboy. Well, it's about time the world caught up with me, homeboy, because the war never stopped around here. Weapons of all kinds are homemade or supplied by cops. Drugs are so... But the things I was saying there, I was just thinking of where I come from. I was thinking about my community, you know, and even how I was saying it, it was just like, you know, there's this... We going through it. You know, they want to start World War III, homeboy. Well, it's about time the world caught up with we, homeboy. Because we in our own world, you know what I mean? It was, and even when I listen to it today, even though I could be out of this space or the mind state, I still remember, it reminds me who I am. It reminds me where I come from. And it reminds me of that energy where I can really be vocal about things that are close to me, and community has meant something to me. And that's what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? But hey, not about me, about you.
That's why I describe my songs as like soundtracks to life.
Yeah.
Because I see it as, life's a movie.
Yeah.
And you're the steering, you know, of your own movie. Yeah. So go make it awesome. And when you're falling in love or getting your heart broken, there's always going to be an Unarine song you can bump.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know? That's man.
I'm very impressed by how raw the lyrics you recited are and how they can still have relevance and carry meaning in this day and age. Yeah. But yeah, I digress.
You're writing the score to everyone's movie. That's what you're doing, you know? So now now I'm gonna guess you speaking Venda on, and how do I pronounce this? Ndoyorali. Ndotorari.
That's it.
Is that Venda?
That is Venda, yeah.
I love that you did that. I love that you just said, I'm gonna take this American singing thing and just go Ndotorari. I'm like, I take us there.
I don't know if it's African.
I'm talking about like the concept of R&B.
bill you.
The concept of R&B. You know what I mean? It's like being intrusive. It's coming into the house of R&B and going, I ain't gonna sing it the way you guys normally sing it. Now, I'm actually from here, you know?
Sorry, you remind me so much of my oldest brother. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Yeah.
I hope that's not a bad thing.
It's a good thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah. You know, I'm a little bit like an older brother for a couple of people.
No, but you have to be. You know? I think, man, information is priceless. And wisdom and experience also priceless. So everyone that's young out there just needs some sort of reference and guidance, and even the younger me and me right now, super excited to be here and be chatting.
Oh man, I appreciate that. But going back to you being intrusive, you know, I wanted to guess if I know what you're saying. I'm assuming I only picked up one word there, one sentence, and it's in the raps, you know. I'm assuming Diandima Mpilo Yao means you know my life.
Bro, that was not Venda. What did you just say? Please let me read that.
I could have spelled it wrong, bro.
It's okay, I won't judge.
I'll spell it for you. Ndiyindima. Mpilo. Mpilo space Y. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, is that from the raps on verse 2?
That's from the raps. Yeah, on verse 2.
I bet. That's Mizo. Shout out to the homie.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think it means?
Once again, you're curating, you see? I love how you know, you could have gotten anything there, anybody. But you were like, this is what the picture has to look like. You know what I mean? I can see you thought about that.
Yeah.
Because you were like, Joburg guys, I got you. I'm gonna go back to the avocados there and got someone who can speak this. You know what I mean?
No, but that feature is really special to me. It's a full circle moment actually, because I remember being in like grade 4 or 5. It's arts and culture, and they need us to recite like a poem. But I took one of homie's songs. I recited that in class. So he's like a Ven rap legend.
Yeah.
Let it be known. He's also on Makazi's album. Mad guy. He's about to drop his album soon too.
You carry on, curator.
But yeah.
Carry on, curator.
But yes, he absolutely added what he needed to add on that song.
Yeah.
Truly grateful for it. So big love, Mizo.
You like a curator.
Am I?
You're an artist. You know what I mean? You like listen, but so what I was saying, I'm assuming he's saying it means you know my life. Just that line.
Very close. It's very shocking how close you are. But Mbiru is hard.
Oh.
So if someone says, "Ya diba Mbiru yawe," I know your heart.
Oh.
Yeah. It's quite a beautiful tune to listen to, and well, I knew this before I dropped. I don't like to sound pompous. I knew this before I dropped. Go. Right? But it's just been so beautiful seeing how people are vibing to the song without understanding a word I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because the frame of reference to Venda for a lot of people is Mubango.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people pull up on me and be like, I'm Sanda. Which is dope, because you call me Chief.
Yeah.
There's so much more, you know? And I guess for someone like me that grows up speaking the language, you kind of take it for granted, because that is what you speak. It's just your language, you know? But being able to introduce a lot more people to it and seeing how they react to it makes you admire and appreciate its beauty. Because I've heard a lot of people be like, oh, it kind of sounds like French, you know, it's romantic. And I'm like,
straight up, bro, straight up.
So, Rekoba Janangachi Venda.
Hey.
It ain't no problem. Like,
you know what? When you're speaking it out there, it's alright. I was just gonna Venda, but when that niggas, there's not a money to Venda. Niggas be like, oh my gosh, what is that? Now,
it's sorry to interrupt, but it's so much more beautiful when you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, I was speaking to OK Wasabi. He was just like, bro, I was hoping to see the lyrics on Genius because I want to know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should do that here or.
I think you should.
Okay. So verse goes, Kade wa namoraro. Come with peace. Andazenga dakaro. And fill me with joy. Girl, I could get you wait.
Yeah.
Adazana mirambo. And you'd fill up the dams. God must have spent some time on all your features. Warungwa guadama achisikwa. The angels bowed down when you were created. I'd put a ring up on your finger. Ndanga tumuwana dumuvinga. If I ever find you, I'll marry you.
Oh gosh.
And that's the verse. But yeah, ndiko toda ania dumfuna ndoto rari. I'm looking for someone that'll love me as I am. Tia tumuwana is I haven't found her. So yeah.
Damn, man, them lyrics are fucking...
Yeah. And I wrote that from the heart, and...
That is straight up from the heart.
Yeah. In terms of Venda girl, man, I love my Venda queens, but at this point in time, like, someone already has my heart.
Yeah.
She's not Venda. She's very far from it. She's like my greatest muse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see it through, like, go the distance, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to have the greatest experiences, travel the world, and have fun with my best friend.
Yo, you better translate those lyrics for her then so she doesn't miss out on that. You better go translate that for her so she doesn't miss out on everything that you just said there, you know?
It's actually funny because she'll go around the house just going, do-do-rai. And I'm like, bruh.
She feels it,
Yeah.
you know? It's an energy. It's like, there's something about this, you know? Tell me about your Samsonic alter ego.
So, real quick, it's not a persona, it's not an alter ego, because that immediately suggests that something else takes over me, and no.
Yeah.
How I see it is a character.
Yeah.
The projects are sort of like movies, and they do tell stories themselves. But I realized that because I'm so eclectic and I can make songs in almost any genre, to the listener, it can sort of get confusing because they're like, where do we put this guy?
Yeah.
So I started paying attention to that and put a lot more intention and effort into contextualizing my projects and just roll out. So I always had the idea for having different characters for the different types of sounds I have.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole other, you know, there's a whole lot of music in the vault.
Yeah.
I call it the Disney vault at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I sat down, thought about, you know, what this character looks like, what he probably does, and his whole being, energy.
Yeah.
And when I share that with a couple of people I collaborated with, including Michelle and Amy Zama, who are fantastic and super talented at what they do. We were able to paint a clear picture of who Samsonic was, and Amy just amplified that in terms of the styling. Michelle photographed it so beautifully, and I think even seeing the images for someone that, you know, was not involved in the process, it helped make the project make a lot more sense. And amplified what I was doing on the sonic side,
You in your head a lot, huh?
I live there. It's a beautiful place. It's a lot of beautiful ideas. And I think even making music is something that's sort of an affirmation for me. Because it's making something from nothing.
Yeah.
And after I completed this project and it was about to drop, the one thought in my head was,
what next?
No, I can do anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ideas. There's one big dream that scares me. It's building a city. I know, right? It's like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, building a city. And
we gonna let this plane go, man. It gonna go. We ain't gonna cut. It's summer. People be out here in these streets. Spring.
But yeah, another dream is to go to space because I'm
that's feasible. That's feasible.
They're both feasible.
No, I mean that's when I say feasible, as in like already that people are booking those out, so that's feasible. Even the city is feasible, you know. I mean, it just depends if that's your feasibility, if that's what you want for you. Yeah.
Fair, like, and I'm looking at it as like making a song. I know it's two completely different fields, or yeah, very far in the spectrum, but I'm looking at life like making a song, and it makes life feel easy. And there'll be times you need to call up a feature.
Yeah, yeah.
Collaborate. And times you just sit down and have to write it out. Yeah.
I mean, what I wanted to just check also, but I've answered myself because I never knew where our conversation was gonna go. But I think like this is an obvious. You're a fan of music more than a musician. You're one of those guys that's like really is a fan of the art more than you like saying that. Look, I'm the biggest artist. It's a question.
Sorry, that was in my head. Thinking about it, like.
I mean, everyone wants to be the biggest artist, but you got to tap into, like, what is the default setting in your mind? You know what I mean?
I just want to make the prettiest songs.
Pretty, what a word to choose.
Yeah.
What a word to choose, pretty. And I was also, I checked on the one joint there, and once again, this kind of comes back to my whole curating thing. You have Muzi on Closer, you know. I was like, is he the one singing the high notes, or where's Muzi? Because I tried to hear him, whether it was vocally, lyric, it's like, is he the one on high? So I was trying to figure out, yeah. Or is he in production? You know what I mean? I was trying to figure that out.
That's a special song to me, because that's one of the songs I kind of like made like from scratch in my room, just on my laptop, because I do make beats.
Yeah.
But I classify a lot of them as like space internet, like nerd music, right?
Yeah.
So, it's not that they're not good; they're really beautiful, but a lot of them don't fit into the space or spectrum of what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Or mainstream, I guess. But yeah, man, Muzi has been paving the way in so many ways.
Yeah.
And I always tell him this. He's like one of my heroes, because he makes me believe things are possible, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I had like the demo for that ready, I was just like, it needs more sauce.
Yeah.
And Muzi came with the Nando sauce. But yeah, he added more elements on production, especially on the second hook, because there's like a mean 808 that like kicks in, and he's the one doing the high pitch voice.
Yeah. No, I was trying to, because I was listening without me looking at the track list, and then like the second time I listened, then I was like, I'm trying to find him, and I said, this nigga's is there squealing there, you know what I mean?
I have a question. What was your experience listening to the whole project? Like, where did it put you? How did you feel?
It's funny. There's another artist here earlier on, and I have to remove the baggage of what I know about the person. So I had to remove the interview. I had to all the parts all our funny parts that we had. I had to kind of remove that.
You say like we've had beef, bro.
Nah, not even. And I had to listen to the music, and I tell you, the first time I listened to it, it never really hit me like it hit me, you know? I could have listened to it because I knew that I needed to do an interview with you, right? So it was probably still like, my mind was still processing like work mode, you know? And then thank God the interview never happened. And then I just listened to it because I was like, I don't want to be awkward. I just want to listen to it, you know? And then I found myself singing songs, you know? Then I found myself like, you know, when you feel like, you know, when the melody now hits you hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, right, replay 2, like, okay, the melody hits you hard. Yeah. Third play, now I'm like, okay, now I'm singing the stuff. Now I'm like, I'm like I told you earlier, and I was like, I don't know where this thing was, and you know what I mean? So for me, I feel that like it just, it feels like, and that's why I started with when I'm cold, you know, I said it's the summer, but I felt that I needed to be cold to appreciate it even more, though.
Yeah, I feel
Let me be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like it was too hot for me to really appreciate it because it was so cozy. Do you know what I mean? It just needed me to get an extra blanket and just go, I chill with my someone and go, yeah, you know what I mean?
That is
I just felt it's so hot, though. You know what I mean? But it gives you that.
Sure.
It gives you that.
I mean, it's about to be winter somewhere else, you know?
Hey. It definitely gives you the hold me when it's cold. It definitely gives you that. It definitely gives you that that personal feeling. And that's why I love like the, I'm not gonna say it right, yeah, because I feel that you really personalized the feeling of being comfortable and just like, and being warm with somebody, and not even just physically, just like you know, someone you trust, you know, someone that you feel that like you're comfortable with, and the collaborations also come across like they come from a place of trust also, and a place of I don't think you're gonna let me down type thing, you know, because they also come across well, and that's why the collaborations. That's why I say you're a curator, and you almost put in the energy that you also want for yourself as a human inside those songs. Do you know what I mean? So I felt that, you know, it's a strong energy to a point where I'm gonna tell you, whether you say you are ready to jump in the studio, the reason why we never worked in the first interview is because you were not creating that. You were not creating a feeling at the time. You know, you might think so. You are not creating a feeling that's like tangible, or at least everything else, or everything you are around other people's feelings.
I disagree strongly.
No, it's okay. You can. It's your art. You know what I mean? I'll speak as a receiver. I'll speak as a receiver. You know, as a receiver, it was the people that literally created the buzz, whose feeling was stronger than the feeling of you. You know what I mean? And that's how I felt. It was an unfair place to be in, where you're being pulled in through other people, and it's not because of you.
Sure.
And like now, we've been seeing you grow. I've seen you in life, you know, even if it wasn't music engagements. We've engaged. I've gotten the feeling of who you are as a person. You know what I mean? So now I can when I hear it in music, I can connect the dots also. But at the time, you were just the person who was hyped through guys who literally have the power to do that, you know? But I hadn't gotten but you hadn't paid your dues for me to say, I feel this about you.
I think there was definitely something that drew all those people to come and say, hey, maybe you guys should give this a chance. And I think for the most part, everyone's gonna have to have their own journey. Like you and I needed to have our own journey relationship for us to get here. And yeah, like even to this day, I don't think my music's for everyone.
I mean, remember, contexts are different.
Facts.
You know, the guys that saw something in you when I first met you from the music, there was a context that they had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have another context of
hey, do this interview.
Hey, can you do this? And besides doing this interview, like, yo, are you really what your music is? You know what I mean? And for me now, I kind of got to see who you are, whatever the case may be. But it doesn't mean that I got to go to a party. I can watch people on TV and watch a couple of these shows and go, this person's like this person, and I could pick up who they are, and then I hear their music. I don't know. Like I can go, the Game is a bit of a weird guy, you know what I mean? 1 minute is like this, I don't know him. But it's not fair for me to judge him, but I can at least create, he's done enough things for me to kind of go, that's weird. Oh, that's nice. But why would he and then do that weird, you know what I mean? Wrestle with my own thoughts about a person. I hadn't gotten a chance to wrestle. And I think the whole of a lot of us, it's like people hear Tim's for the first time, right? Through his kid for the first time.
Yeah. People been around.
Yeah, but people hadn't got the chance to wrestle with their thoughts of Tim's Now now they had to go figure that out, you know, where WizKid, you've wrestled with your thoughts and go, okay, this is how I feel about him, you know what I mean? And it happens. It doesn't mean it was a bad thing. It's just that, like, you were moving so fast and we were outside, but we hadn't wrestled with the thoughts of seeing your car moving that fast. We'd seen Swiss, we'd seen like Coffees,
Yeah.
we'd seen everyone else's, but we hadn't wrestled with yours.
Sure.
But you so happened to be like there in the car seat at the back. So someone's like, hey, but the car seat also, you know what I mean? They're like, hey, but you know the car
I think
seat.
all I was disagreeing with was that the music didn't have feeling, because it's been have feeling. Like, even Nobody, there's people that come back to me about that song. And that's a song from, what, 2015, 16?
Yeah.
Girls Like You,
Yeah.
you know, still people texting me saying, yo, this is easing the heartbreak.
I'm not talking about the music. I'm just talking about across the board.
Fair.
You know, it's great. But like, who is the guy? And that's my thing for even like music that I listen on playlists that I don't know who it is, and it just goes in the playlist. Like, yo, what a dope song. But it's hard for me to continue to connect with the individual because I haven't really explored the individual to kind of go, oh, I see where that song is coming from. You know what I mean? So sometimes music is a feeling. I don't need to know you.
Yeah.
But if you can give me enough feelings where I'm like, okay, yo,
I need it.
the problem's with me now. You know what I mean? And for me and you, that's where it was getting. The problem's gonna be with me now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yo, thanks for coming through the backyard session. I'm glad we had this, man. You know? We lost some nice footage where we talked about other things.
Whole lot.
You know? But it was dope.
Really dope.
Shout out, B.
Peace out, my brother.
I
wasn't sure what we were doing there.
I was about to do this. With you.
Right.
Even the first time you're like, no, you're not taking your hand anywhere. I'm doing this.
Gotta be gentle.
This is what I'm doing with you right now, sir. Shout out.
And love, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good luck for everything. Across the board, man. May the universe just multiply in your direction.
I received
Not just generally, in your direction.
Gotta take it around the world, innit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Peace.
To space.
Let's go. To space.
To space.
You know what I mean? Elon Musk, this man is gonna book something soon. Branson, somebody. He's coming.
Yeah.
Yo, we out here, backyard session. Peace.
Broadcast live.